a beautiful summer's evening in July, the Top Videos team are once again assembled, ready to leave our shores from the port of Hull by way of the 20,000-ton car ferry Norsun. Destination, Rotterdam, Holland. Landfall. The Norsun makes its way into Europort, about 15 miles from Rotterdam.
Attention please. All passengers travelling back with us tonight are kindly requested not to leave anything in their cabins. Baggage may be deposited for the day in the baggage locker on the green deck.
Here, Terry Lodge views our arrival in Holland. Most of you will know Terry is loft manager for Top Lofts UK, and over the years has been responsible for the production of many fine videotapes. This new venture has taken months to organize. He believes it has the potential to become a classic production. The morning mist was still very apparent, and with the passing of the Dutch countryside there was a build-up of both anticipation and excitement when we considered the adventure that lay ahead. Every pigeon fancier in the UK knows that both Belgium and Holland are very flat countries, and many believe that the racing is so much easier over here. Up to a point, I'm in agreement with this theory. It definitely is true of sprint racing. But when long-distance pigeons have to cover journeys of 500 to 800 miles over this flat terrain, it does cause one major problem for them. When there are headwinds, the pigeons cannot find shelter. They must face the wind and still fly very high mileage races. This happens in more races than you would imagine. This small town in southern Holland is world famous. Its name, Steenbergen. Why is it so well known? The answer is the name Jan Aarden, but that is the simple answer. Everyone knows of the great long-distance strain, the Jan Aardens. They originated in Steenbergen. In fact, this is the actual Aarden Hotel, owned by the Aarden family. It was in this small loft, at the rear of the hotel, that the pigeons were raced. Not such a large loft, but the reputation and fame of these great pigeons has become legend. So too did those other long-distance diehards, the Van der Wegens. These two fanciers, plus many other not-so-well-known names, outside the Netherlands that is, made Steenbergen the recognized capital of Dutch long-distance pigeon racing. Here you can see 12 different long-distance lofts in one shot. The competition was intense, and for that reason many great champion pigeons evolved. One man alone kept the Jan Aardens pure. His name, Marian van Geel. This is his story, the greatest story ever told. His name runs like a thread of gold throughout this video production. I trust you will enjoy it. On March the 12th, 1983, Marian van Geel of Nieuw Vossemeer died. The international affiliation lost one of the greatest champions that Holland had ever had. Marian van Geel, a simple townsman, had formed a breed which excels in the most difficult contests in all parts of the world. The Van Geel pigeons are notable in themselves. You can see they are of pure stock by their long, flexible muscles, their silky smooth plumage, but more than anything by their indomitable character, which allows them to overcome major difficulties with great success. Marian van Geel worked for 20 years to form his breed, the Van Geel breed, at the basis of which can be found the famous Jan Aarden pigeons. After his death in 1983, many big offers were made for his unique collection, but all the eager to buy were to have their hope dashed. In compliance with Marian van Geel's wishes, the colony was to be left in the hands of his wife, Martha, including all the pigeons, and the old dollar, 16 years old at that time, remained in the place where they belonged, in Nieuw Vossemeer. Martha van Geel had inherited her husband's life's work. She had a great task on her hands to continue her husband's many successes. Martha van Geel accepted this challenge. During Marian's last years, the care of the pigeons had fallen mainly on her shoulders. She got to know all the pigeons and listened carefully to Marian's advices. Together with her husband, she wrote down all their pedigrees, concentrating on the crossbreeding and concluded that the dollar's blood was present in 90% of their pigeons. The method used had shown its efficiency over 25 years. She became part of the affiliation with full confidence in her pigeons. These pigeons had been very successful under Marian's direction, and these same pigeons had also shone in many other pigeon lofts. In view of this, they should be just as successful for her. The death of the dollar in 1985 was naturally a blow to morale, but still there remained 12 children and more than 35 grandchildren from this wonderful pigeon. Martha's achievements are equal to those of other champions. However, there are champions and champions. In 3 years, Martha van Geel has placed herself amongst the greatest, an accolade which she owes without a doubt to her husband's legacy. Michael Bork is the first pigeon fancier that we visit in Holland. He is the celebrated auctioneer who has been responsible for many fabulous sales. He was the auctioneer at the world record-breaking Van Geel sale. Michael was a very close friend of the late Marian van Geel. The reason we're here is twofold. Not only does Michael have the finest colony of Van Geel pigeons in the world, but he speaks good English and will travel with us to help coordinate the videotape.
Today we are in South Holland, in the province of Brabant, and here we have Michael Bork, the most famous auctioneer in Holland. Michael, you have just written a book on the Van der Weggen strain, I do believe.
Yes, that's right.
This has been translated now into English.
It will be translated and it will be published in September or October 1989.
In England?
In England, yes.
And the translation now is well underway. What made you write a book about the Van der Weggen strain, Michael?
Because I think the Van der Weggen pigeons are the best pigeons in the world.
For the long distance?
Only for the long distance.
Yes. For crossing also very good?
Yes, especially when they are crossed, they race very well wherever in Holland or Belgium.
They do?
And even in Germany.
And what families do they cross very well to? You know, what are they used?
They cross very well with Meulemans pigeons, but also with Van Geel, Purian Aardens.
They cross very well with
I think Van der Weggen pigeons cross very well with every other kind of pigeons.
They do, because
yes.
Because they're so intact, so inbred.
Yes, they are very inbred.
Yes.
30 years long, so...
So they cross very well with the pigeons of Van Geel then?
Yes, very well.
Michael, the birds of Martha van Geel were sold at Zundert in February, I do believe.
Yes, February 18th and 19th, 2 days.
And it astounded the world, did it not?
Yes, it was a world record.
A world record for an auction?
Yes.
160 pigeons approximately?
168.
168, and what did they gross? I think, you better get that.
Yeah.
Michael is an extremely busy man. He probably exports more pigeons from Holland than any other agent.
Michael, after the auction of Martha van Geel, which was an obvious success, some of the prime pigeons came to England as well, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
It could now be stated with great conviction that you have got the finest Van Geel pigeons in your loft at the present time in all the world.
I think so, because I have 120 directly from Van Geel.
Yes.
And also of all the famous breeders and flyers. So I think it's unique in the world.
I'm sure. There cannot be a colony.
No.
There cannot be a colony in the world with such depth.
No.
Of 120 direct Van Geel pigeons. Half brothers and sisters of the Flecky, I do believe.
Yes, they are.
Sons and daughters of the dollar?
3 of them.
3 of them. From the Pyrenean Bogle too?
I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5 from the Pyrenean Bogle. Any more famous pigeons?
6 of the Barcelona.
6 from the Barcelona?
12 of Flecky.
12 from Flecky?
Yes.
You've actually 12
yes.
sons and daughters of Flecky. And Flecky was the highest ever auction price pigeon, was it not?
Yes, it was 80,000 guilders. That's in English pounds, I think 27,000.
27,000 English pounds, and
yes.
that's a world record.
That's a world
and
record.
how many children have you from that particular pigeon?
12 children.
12 children,
yes.
yeah. And how long have you known Martha and, is it Martin van Geel?
Martha van Geel, yes.
Yeah.
I know her for, I think, 6 or 7 years.
And during that period of time, you've always had the best from
yes,
the Van Geel?
I'm a very good friend of Martha van Geel, and I give her advice, and I could get with her what I wanted.
Yes.
She was very, very kind to me.
That's right, I'm sure.
As we arrive at Michael's lofts, his manager has the young pigeons out for exercise. About 70, I would guess. A typical continental setup. For the successful on the continent, the lifestyle is very good indeed. This breeding station is little different from many one can visit in Europe, from the outside that is. But the occupants are quite another story. We seem to have an audience. The usual loft features, ventilation and plenty of sunlight through the roof lights. The racing loft. Note the roof lights that run the full length of the roof. I've only seen that once before in Jan Grundelaar's young bird loft. Also featured are the 2 Sputnik traps and the unusual stall traps for quick timing on race days. These races are flown on the natural system with the open loft. That in itself is very unusual in Europe.
Michael, since the last time I was here, this is a new building.
Yes, this is a new building for my best breeding pairs.
It is for next season?
It's for next season, yes. It's not yet finished all, but in a few weeks it will be finished.
Yes.
So then my best breeding pairs are going in that loft.
They'll molt out in this loft and get used to the boxes.
Yes.
It has a wire floor as well, which is very, very useful.
I think it's the best there is because you haven't got much work.
No.
And it's very good for the health of your pigeons.
Surely.
Yes.
Because it breaks up the cycle from worms and coccidiosis.
Yes, it all goes through.
It always goes through.
That's the best there is.
I'm sure it is. And I do believe you've got this type of grid down in the breeding loft now, really, on the floor.
It's all this same type of floor in all my breeding lofts.
Yes. We have it at top lofts as well, the same.
Also.
Yes. And the pigeons are going to come out of there?
Yes, they can go out and in whenever they want.
That's magnificent. And they'll not get too much cold wind either because it's well sheltered, isn't it?
It's well sheltered. You can see that here.
Yes.
There's no wind at all.
No wind, but there's plenty of sunshine.
Sunshine, that's what I need.
All the day long, and you cannot breed good pigeons without sunshine. You know, it's essential.
Sunshine. They need the water of the rain, so.
Definitely. It's a very, very impressive setup, and I'm sure it'll work very, very well, Michael. Michael, these are the youngsters that are coming to top lofts in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, that's right.
There'll be 70 in total, I do believe. And that pigeon in the top box there, that's a double grandson of the old dollar.
Yes, his mother is a daughter of the dollar, and he's my favorite. He's my favorite of all.
Is he?
I don't know why, but he's got everything I want to see in a Van Geel pigeon.
I'm sure.
You will be pleased when that bird is a few months older. You'll get beautiful colored eyes, just like his mother.
Yes.
And just like dollar too, just like the dollar himself. This is really what I want to breed, but it's very hard.
That's the stamp of the Van Geel pigeon.
Yes, that's how they have to be.
There's some very nice young birds in here. There's no two ways about that. Some whip pens and 1 or 2 with the coif.
Yes.
With the coif on the head, which is a...
That's a character of Van Geel pigeons.
Of the Van Geel pigeons, the crown.
The old Jan Aarden.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there only that family it comes out in, Michael?
Yes. If somebody has real, original Jan Aarden birds, he can always breed those cubs.
You can?
Yes.
It comes out as a matter of course?
Yes.
Yes. There's some beautiful whip pens among these.
Yes, I like them too. That one is a grandson of dollar too.
How many children have you from the dollar, did you say?
I have 3 children of the dollar, direct children.
Of the old dollar?
And I think 40 grandchildren.
And 40 grandchildren?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tremendous amount. There's that whip pen, the 2 whip pen there, the 2 white feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Both ends?
Yes, those are both ends. That's from a very special pair.
Yes.
There are 2 yearlings with a fantastic pedigree.
Yes.
They breed all those types of youngsters.
They do?
Really very nice.
And do you know what the other's from, the whip pen at the back there, Michael?
I don't know for sure, but I think that's of a son of Barcelona.
It's a son of the Barcelona of Michael.
Yes.
Beautiful pigeon.
They're only 7 weeks old now, so they have to grow.
I'm sure. There's some very, very nice young birds amongst them, there's no 2 ways about that. And they're pure pigeons as well, which is very important. Michael, here we have some of your fabulous Van Geel producing pigeons.
Yes.
Would you care to show them us, please?
No, I'll be glad to.
This is a new son from the Della that you've just bought from Belgium.
Yes, I bought this last week, and I'm very glad to have it. It's a son of the dollar. It's a full brother of dollar 2.
It's a full brother of Della.
NL81 8152451, $2. Undoubtedly the pigeon with the most outspoken race characteristics of the present Van Geel strain. $2 is a terrific stock bird. Not tall, but full of quality and class. He is the image of his father, the dollar, but had even more personality in his beautiful chestnut eyes. $2 is the most perfect Jan Aarden pigeon that was ever bred, and without the slightest doubt, one of the most unique Van Geel pigeons ever born. Marian Van Geel used to call $2 the one and only successor of the world-famous dollar. Consequently, it is one of the most prominent reference pigeons of the 1989 Van Geel strain. Father, NL67 2052951, the dollar. Mother, NL73 2321155, daughter of the old 54. $2 is a magical bird, with only the best of characteristics.
The full brother of Della 2.
Yes, and it's a magnificent breeder.
Unbelievable pigeon. You have 3 from the Della.
Yes.
Now, you had 4, didn't you? But one has died.
I've had 6 or 7, but
That's
some
6.
died already. They
That's
were
right.
old. Yes.
And from what year is this? From 76?
76, yes.
But I do believe you've just got your first round of eggs out of this pigeon.
Yes, just today,
Yes.
the first eggs.
And it's paired on to a daughter of the dollar.
Yes, full sister of this cock.
Have you got her in the basket?
Yes.
NL67 2052951, the dollar. The most famous Jan Aarden pigeon of all times. Thanks to its outstanding performance and particular stock value, the dollar has become the best long-distance pigeon in the world. It may no doubt be looked upon as the bird that stood at the basis of the Jan Aarden strain of the 1970s and 1980s. The number of proven aces with dollar blood running through their veins is tremendous by now. The dollar died in 1985, 18 years of age, at the Van Geel loft. It was a typical Jan Aarden pigeon, with beautiful chestnut brown eyes and silk-soft feathers, characteristics which were passed on by the bird to its offspring. In 1975, the dollar was transferred to the stock loft and destined to stay there. Meanwhile, it had won a car for its owner and built up an impressive roll of honor. During its career, the dollar was basketed 17 times, and consequently won 17 prizes in long-distance races. The most important of these are 3rd National St. Vincent, 6,844 pigeons, 3rd National Dax, 3,649 pigeons, 9th Limoges, 1,610 pigeons, 12th National St. Vincent, 6,917 pigeons, 20th Châteauroux, 2,176 pigeons, 22nd Châteauroux, 2,425 pigeons, 30th Moulin, 5,146 pigeons, 66th National Dax, 3,561 pigeons.
So this is full brother and sister, and I pair them together.
Deliberately? Yes.
Yes, because I need the birds out of this couple for the future.
Future breeding?
Yes.
Surely. Can I have a look at the answer?
Yes, of course.
What is the actual mother to that pigeon?
The band number is 155 on the end.
Yes.
It's the daughter of the old 54.
The daughter of the old 54 is the actual
Mother of those.
mother to the cock from the dollar.
Yes.
And this is out of the dollar, this end's out of the dollar when paired to...
With the same hand.
With the same end. So they are actually full brother and
Full
sister.
brother and sister, yes.
And they're intailed in any case, so it's very close breeding.
Yes. I think the closest you can do.
Yes. If you get some sound youngsters out of these, they'll be magnificent for the future.
I would be pleased.
Yes. What else have we in the basket, Michael? You have 120 direct Van Geel pigeons now.
That's right, yes.
Bred in the lofts of the Van Geels.
Always original band numbers and pedigrees.
That's unbelievable. They must be worth a veritable fortune.
I don't know what I was, but for me they are worth everything.
That's right.
This is some of Flecky.
This is a son of the...
NL81 8152434. Flecky. There can be no doubt about it that Flecky is the most prominent of the Van Geel strain, and a pearl in international pigeon sport. Flecky is a dream and the prototype of the modern Aarden pigeon. It is a very versatile bird with all the good characteristics of the Aarden strain. As a racing bird and a stock bird, it is a phenomenal and invaluable pigeon. This was evident from his winning the car in 1984 and second national Dax. Later, as a stock bird, he became famous as the father and grandfather of many superior pigeons which excelled in the marathons of the skies. A few references. In 1988, Martha Van Geel won the first Bergerac of the heavy Southwest District Union long-distance race out of 2,488 selected racing pigeons from West Brabant. The victorious Bergerac hen was a direct daughter of Flecky. In 1988 as well, the Kuipers brothers from Neer won a car in National Dax. Their winner was bred out of a half-sister of Flecky. On her father's side, Flecky herself was inbred after the Dollar, which won the car in National St. Vincent. On her mother's side, Flecky is a grandchild of the very Dollar. Winning cars thus seems to be a characteristic of Flecky's pedigree.
This is a son of the Flecky?
Yes, and he's a full brother of the Bergerac hen that won the first Bergerac last year with Martha Van Geel.
Yes?
It's a nest brother.
This is the full brother to the Bergerac hen from last year?
The nest brother.
And how far does Martha Van Geel fly from Bergerac?
About 880 kilometers. So that's
nearly
about,
600 miles?
Yes.
Nearly 600
yes,
miles.
Yes.
Another wonderful pigeon. And from the Flecky, I believe you've 10 or 11 pigeons?
I think 12.
12 sons and daughters, yes. from the Flecky who made the world record auction price in the auction in
yes,
February.
That was a pigeon that made a price of £27,000.
That's right, that was the car winner.
That was a car winner, yes.
Unbelievable. Beautiful pigeon that again.
But Flecky won a car, but also his grandfather, the Dollar, he won a car too.
That's right.
So it's, and now the Kuipers brothers win cars too. So
yes.
it's all in
It's
the
all
same family.
on.
Yes.
That is the origin of the pigeon, the strength of the family.
Yes, I think so. This is one of my favorites. It's an inbred pigeon of brother and sisters,
Yeah.
both grandchildren of Dollar.
Both the parents were grandchildren of the Dollar,
Yes.
paired together deliberately again,
Yes, yes.
to give you a very good eye on this pigeon. In fact, they're noted for having very, very good eyes, the pigeons of the Van Geels.
I think the Van Geel pigeons have the best eyes you can find.
I think that's
wherever
probably
it is,
right.
Yes.
In fact, the eyes on the duck